There's always someone watching you that is capable of greatly blessing you. Let me say that again.
That's all.
There's always someone observing you that is capable of greatly blessing you. Barbara says, or destroying you? Nah, I don't think people have that power. But blessing you, opening doors for you, you have that power. You have that power to receive. And I just want you to understand, like, a year ago yesterday, Jesse Lee Ward passed. We didn't mention it yesterday, but Jesse Lee Ward, dear friend, passed away too young from cancer.
Yeah, too soon.
And the day she passed, I literally an hour before she passed away, I was informed, or excuse me, an hour after she passed away, I was supposed to speak for a major company here in Las Vegas, 3,000 people. And I was informed 1 hour ahead of time. And I almost canceled because I'm like, how can I just can't. I'm sitting in my car. I can't do it. I don't think I can face anybody. This is my dear friend. And I'd just seen her, I'd flown and seen her the day before. I was saying goodbye, she wasn't saying goodbye, but I knew it was goodbye, right? I didn't expect it to be that fast, but it happened the next morning, right? So I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, I've got to call them and tell them, sorry, I know they're expecting me to do a 3-hour training, but I can't do it. But it was almost like she was in the car with me, and I hear her voice saying, you better do it, because there's another Jesse Lee Ward in that audience, and if you don't do it, I'm going to be mad at you. So buckle up and show up. Do your job. So I did. So, and I don't know, I held it together for almost all of it. I lost it for like 2 minutes towards the end of the 3 hours. But for the rest of it, I was on fire. Like, I was good to go. And who knew, but there were people in that audience who were drawn there for whatever reason to open a door for me to bring more value to the profession than maybe I've ever brought. And they watched me crush it in a difficult moment. Right? And 6 weeks later, I get a phone call. That's a life-changing phone call. And I begin a relationship with one of the giants inside of the network marketing profession, a long-term relationship, to be able to bring value all over the world to millions of their distributors. Would have never happened had I chosen to feel sorry for myself or be weak in that moment. I had to put my best self on. Right? One of the giants. Right? There's many giants in the profession. I think there's 27 different companies that do over $1 billion in sales. This was one of them. Okay? So they made the call, and now I'm in a long-term relationship helping them as well as I help other companies around the world, as well as I'm helping you, right? So the decision maker was in the audience, and I'd never met him, didn't know his name. And no one would have felt worse for me if I said no. They would have understood. So, Jesse Lee's partly responsible for that, but also I'm responsible for showing up, just like you did today. A lot of people could have showed up today. Some people didn't. A lot of people signed up, and life got in the way. They had their little excuse. I had my big excuse. All excuses are equal, ultimately, right? So showing up is part of the game. Delivering is part of the game. Being there in the moment is part of the game. Putting a smile on your face sometimes when you don't feel like it is part of the game, right? Making a call when you don't feel like it, transitioning a conversation when you don't feel like it is part of the game. So some of you need to do some of the things that you're not comfortable doing in order to be able to go where you need to go, and also for you to provide the value to the world that the world needs from you. So that's a little moment for you. Just understand someone's watching you right now on social.
Yeah.
That's ready to make a phone call and say, sign me up. They're just watching how you show up. They're watching what you're saying. They're listening for cues. To say, you know what, I'm going to make the call. I'm going to send the DM. Someone in your life is thinking about joining, and they've told you no 15 times, but they're thinking about it. If you punish them, if they say no, they're going to go the other way. Now they're saying the mic sounds horrendous. Turn down the gain. Oh, Lord. Maybe the gain's too high now. Other people from Maya said the same from the crew. The gain's a little bit too high. We'll get it tweaked. We'll get it tweaked. We'll get it tweaked. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just so you know, we're doing this a combination from our big studio, our tech team there, and our studio that I have at my home, tech team here. Okay, so just know that there's a little bit of back and forth that happens. So, how many of you consider yourself a VIP person? I'll ask the question again. Put VIP in the chat or raise your hands. If you consider yourself a VIP person, if you consider yourself somebody who is a very important person, very valuable person, you're somebody that you deserve to be kind to yourself. Fantastic. Uploadly. I see all the hands raised. Fantastic. Those of you who are not in VIP, let me give you some encouragement to upgrade yourself to VIP for the rest of this challenge. And let me tell you why. Okay? One, every day there's a bonus Q&A session. We take a 15, 20-minute break at the end, and then we have a bonus Q&A session. We had a great session yesterday, which we recorded, and VIPs have access to all sessions, all 3 free sessions, plus all 3 bonus sessions. Today, we have Tom Chenault, who's #1 with his company, who's going to teach you how to get customers, and he's excellent at doing so. We have Jeff Altgilvers, who's #1 in his company, and he's going to teach you how to get customers, and he's excellent at doing that. We have Leah Lockett, who is a rising star from London, England, who's going to be sharing how she gets customers. She's a customer machine. And we have Sandro Cazzato, who is #1 in his company and an absolute machine at getting customers. One of the fastest growing builders in the world, making over $500,000 a month. Sandro Cazzato is making over $500,000 every single month. And he's been involved in network marketing for 4 years. So if you think you could learn something from these 4 people, plus myself, they're going to be sharing all their secrets on how to get customers in the bonus session afterwards, the backstage session for VIPs. So you get the Q&A, you get a one-on-one consultation with a GoPro coach, one-on-one, to get out of your head and into action. If you feel stuck, you have a one-on-one Zoom call with one of our GoPro coaches. There's a customer catalyst guide, which is basically the notes from all of this entire challenge, all the scripts, all the notes, all the tips, all the tactics, secrets, insights, all put into one booklet that we'll send out to you. 12 months access to the full challenge replay that you can watch as many times as you want. And I want you to think about how you can use this replay. You can use this replay, 1, for you. You could use it 2 for your team. Could you invite your team over to your house and play the replay for them? Would that be helpful for them? I think it would. And I created a course called Inviting Mastery, inviting people to take a look at what you have in network marketing is the gateway skill. Because if you can't get people to take a look, you're done. There is no business for you. And I assumed when I started my business, I thought that people would at least want to take a look. And I was very shocked to find out that people were highly resistant to even just looking. And you needed to have some skills in order to be able to get people to take a look. So I created a masterclass. It's a video masterclass that I sell for $300 for that masterclass called Inviting Mastery. It's a home study course. It's a video home study course. Okay? That is included in the VIP. So you add it all up, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. You want to become a VIP, it's $47. And all you have to do is click on this upgrade to VIP. And when the Q&A session starts, you'll click on that bottom link. That bottom link will get you into the Q&A session, or you can stay inside of this VIP. If you're already a VIP, just stay inside of your VIP room and you'll be added, okay? So I just want you to understand. Sound still is off. You guys got to look at this chat. Some people are saying sound is fine. Some people are saying sound is horrible, like speakers blown up. It has vibration. Sound is distorted, muffled sound. Sound is great on this side. Sound in room 6, whatever room 6 is a combination of good and bad. So anyway, hopefully it's legible. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to have enough that you can understand it and take notes, okay? Some are saying it's not clear. Some are saying it's too loud. Some are saying it's distorted on Zoom. But if it's legible, let's continue. Fair? If you're okay with continuing, if it's legible enough to continue, put a 1 in the chat. If it's legible enough to continue. I'm sorry, we're not ESPN, we're not ABC, we're not NBC, we're not Fox, we're not DirecTV. We're just doing our best, okay? So, let me tell you about GoPro that's coming up December 6th through the 8th, and I promise you this training today is gonna knock your socks off. You're gonna love this. But let me tell you about GoPro the 6th through the 8th because it's important. Every network marketer, if you're involved in network marketing, you need to attend GoPro December 6th, 7th, and 8th. You can attend one of 3 ways. 1 is virtually for 2 days. 2 is a VIP ticket, which includes a bonus 3rd day. And 3 is a platinum ticket, which you can attend in person. And there's only like 60 or 70 tickets left in person. Okay, those are the 3 ways. It's December 6th, 7th, and 8th. And if you look at who we've had speak in the past, take a look at the list of the people we've had speak in the past. Just take a look. And you can imagine what we might be doing for our 15th year. Some pretty powerful people are coming. And you can find the times when you go to the link and go check it out. GoPro2024.com. We'll give you all the times and everything else. But this list's pretty impressive list, right? Guess what? This list is just decorations. This list is just decorations. Guess what the main event is? The top speakers in network marketing, the top leaders in network marketing, people like myself, people like the top earners in all the different companies sharing their secrets in real time on how they're growing a business and how they're doing it today. So it's delivered online or it's here in Las Vegas. Most people join online. Day one is sales mastery. How you can become a rock star in sales, and we've got an incredible lineup in sales. Day two, team building mastery. How do you build a team? If you can sell, but you're having a difficult time building a team that duplicates, it's a you just have a job essentially. And day three, only for VIP and Platinums, is leadership. How do you become a better leader and teach other people how to do the same thing? GoPro2024.com. So you can buy a ticket for each one of these things. A 2-day ticket is $100. A 3-day ticket is $200 online. And an in-person ticket is $5,000. Those are the three things you can buy. Okay? I want to give you a free ticket if you check out this Now Site technology that we work with. If you just sign up for a free trial and you get a subscription, it ends up being $29 a month. After you sign up and you stay signed up through December, you get a free 2-day ticket, December 6th, 7th, and 8th. If you sign up for an annual subscription, you get a 3-day ticket for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Okay? If you did this yesterday, fantastic, wonderful. So that's how you subscribe. Those are the different ways that you do it. Now let's get into the training. Okay? Is there a deadline to sign up for this discount? The deadline is Monday midnight. That's wrong. The deadline is this Friday midnight. I got stuck on my days. This Friday at midnight. If you did it last month, you're still eligible. You're fine. You're good. This Friday at midnight, you've got to be able to all you got to do is sign up for a free trial. Stay on as a member for a couple months. If it's not for you, you basically got a free ticket to GoPro. It's kind of nuts if you don't do this. Okay? In my opinion, I think you're crazy. If you don't, I will say what I told you yesterday, I will say again. AI is not going anywhere. Okay? AI is not going anywhere. And as network marketing professionals, we either need to use AI or AI is going to be using us. We either need to get in there and muddle around and figure it out. It expires on Monday the 30th? Well, congratulations. I did not know that. It expires on Monday the 30th. So congratulations. So just know this. At one point, you're intimidated by a smartphone. At one point, you're intimidated by your social media page. At one time, you're trying to set up a MySpace page and figure out what was going to be your theme song. At one time, you were intimidated by when they changed the layout of Facebook, right? At one time, you were intimidated by all kinds of stuff, technology. And what did you do? You figured it out. Now, I know there's some of you that still don't have a microwave oven because you think that it's going to fry your brain. Fine. I'm not saying you have to go into the future with us. You don't. But if I take two groups and one has figured out AI and is using it to build their network marketing business, and another one that has not figured it out, the one that has figured it out is going to win. So I want us all to figure it out together. Okay? So just go to nmpro.ai, get yourself signed up for a free trial, try it out, and if after 7 days of muddling around, if it's not for you, then dump it. But if it is for you, you're going to get a free ticket to GoPro, which is the Super Bowl of network marketing. So I want you to be there. Now, let's get into the training. You ready? If you put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for the training. Now, today is about when people transition, they create an opening for you to use in order to educate them about your product. Okay? They create a transition. Remember I told you that there is 2 transition points? One is they transition to you, they create an opening. Here's all a transition is. There's an opening. They just created an opening. They ask you about your business. They ask you about your product. They ask you how things are going. They ask you what you're doing for a living. They talk about something that they're dissatisfied with. They create an opening where if you're paying attention, you can step into that opening and create a customer conversation. So today is them to you. Tomorrow is, if they don't come to you and create an opening, most of your conversations have already created an opening and you just didn't see it. Most of them, there's already been an opening there. You just were not aware or able to see that the opening was actually there. Okay? But tomorrow, why tomorrow's maybe the most important of the 3 days, because the most common thing is you're having a conversation and the opening doesn't show up. And you have to create the opening. Or you have an urgency. You have an urgency. And from that urgency, you want to create the opening because you want to get things moving. One thing I forgot to ask, and I'm going to go to the board here in a second. One thing I forgot to ask is, how many we set a goal yesterday. What was our goal? How many customers were we going to try and get? In these 24 hours, how many were we going to try to get? 3, right? Okay. All right. Pause that. No more comments. Now I want to ask, how many customers did you get in the last 24 hours? Put into the chat. Even if it's a 0. Zeros, ones, twos. Quite a bit of zeros, but we got some ones, we got some twos, we got a 5, we got a 4. Now, let me ask you a question. Be honest. God is watching. Okay? Be honest. How many of you didn't even really try? Put a 7 in the chat. If you didn't even really try. Not yet, because you just didn't have the confidence. Thank you for your honesty. Now, if you didn't try, we can't expect big results, right? So hopefully today is going to give you a little bit more confidence. And from that confidence, you're going to take more action. And from that action, you're going to get better results. And I see Maureen's back. Hi, Maureen. How you doing? So, if you didn't try, we can expect we're not going to get much results. But whether you're too busy, you had stuff going on, or you got scared, or you didn't know what to say, or you lacked confidence, all that stuff. We set a goal. Some of you hit the goal. Some of you froze up. It's okay. It's okay. I will say again, get out of your head, just breathe, and follow instructions. And I'm going to give you ways to be able to do it today, to look for the opening, and then step into the opening. Okay? You with me? Give me a thumbs up if you're with me. Thumbs up? You with me?
Yes.
Lisa Fastmatter, you with me? All right, good. I don't see any thumbs. Where's your thumbs? Come on, Lisa, show me your thumbs. I can see you. There's a thumb. Fantastic. Okay, so transition the conversation. Them to you or you to them. And again, when we find this transition point, we're going to try and get off the platform, right? What did we say yesterday? Voice to voice or face to face. And if it felt disingenuous, that means that it's not ready yet to go ask for a person to be a customer yet. Either your confidence isn't there, or you're not, the conversation's not ready, you're not ready, whatever, it's okay. Most of the time when you try something new, it's not going to feel genuine. The very first time. It's going to feel awkward. The very first time. But we're going to try and get voice to voice or face to face. Today we're going to talk about how to convert your prospects to customers when they transition the conversation. When they transition the conversation. So a couple things that I would recommend for you is that will help you in getting more customers is if you are a raving fan of your customer, of your products. How many of you are raving fans of your products? Put a 2 in the chat. If you're a raving fan, if you're just an absolute super fan of your products, that's going to help. That's going to help you have more conversations with people if you really, really are a raving fan. Number 2, if you learn everything you can learn about your products, the benefits, ingredients, technology, science, clinical studies, awards, stories, any brag points about those products, it's going to help.
No.
You don't have to have all of that today.
No.
To be able to get somebody to take a look and to become a short-term customer or maybe a long-term customer. But over time, this should be a goal for you, is to learn everything you can about your products.
Not true.
How many agree that would be helpful in you being a good customer gatherer? Put a 3 in the chat if you agree. If you learn about these, everything you can about them.
No.
Third thing is identifying what are all the tools that you can use when a person, either to educate the person about your product, or if they ask a question about your product. So here's some examples of tools that will help you, assist you in getting more customers. I'm sure your company has videos about your products, audios about your products, websites that talk about your products. The products themselves can help to educate. Brochures, magazines, testimonials, stories, books, news articles, marketing pieces. All of these things are your friend, especially if you're new. If you're new and you're like, person asks a question, you're like, I don't know, I just got started yesterday. Or I haven't had any results, I don't know. But I have this video. What I want each of you to do is to make a little cheat sheet list. Write cheat sheet into the comments. I want you to make a cheat sheet list of all the links and all the tools and all of the stuff that you can use. It might be your upline, it might be a friend, it might be an event, it might be any of these different tools, something, and you have it in front of you at all times. So if somebody asks a question, you can say, good question, I have a video that answers that. Or I have a person I can introduce you that can answer that question. Okay? Boards is good for this. You're going to find that the Teams function inside of NowSite is going to be even better for that. But have a cheat sheet for it. Have some notes in your phone. Great, perfect. To be able to pull it up. Okay? But if you're a raving fan, if you learn about your products and you have this resource of tools in order to be able to lean on in case you find yourself stuck, you're going to be in better shape, right? So marketing is getting people to try something. Most of marketing is getting people to try something. And like I said, with high ticket or with services where trying something is more difficult, then what I would say when it comes to high ticket and services is lean more on testimonials, lean more on sampling, lean more on demonstration, like we talked about yesterday. Demonstration, sampling, and testimonials. So should you have a cheat sheet of testimonials? Yes or no? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree that that would be helpful to have.
Yes.
So every one of you needs to collect stories. Collect stories about your product or service that are spectacular and cover every single type of person.
Yes.
You need stories from fat people. You need stories from skinny people. You need stories from single moms. You need stories from business owners. You need stories from construction workers. You need stories from blue collar and white collar. You need stories from professionals. You need stories from people single moms. You need stories from difficult situations. You need stories. You got to have them.
Yes.
So I would collect the stories and I would go grab a picture from their social and I would have their picture and the story and I'd be ready to send the picture and the story to that person. Because is a testimonial more powerful than facts?
Yeah.
What's more powerful, facts
No.
or a testimonial
Testimonial.
that's real?
Social proof.
Make sure it's real, make sure it's compliant with your company's policies and procedures, but a testimonial for sure is better. Somebody tells me, like I got this mattress topper thing called 8 Sleep that is unbelievable. It's expensive, but it adjusts the heat and temperature on both sides of your bed, like on autopilot all night long. And it makes like 29 different adjustments a night in order for you to have a better night's sleep. It increases your REM sleep, it increases your deep sleep. And sleep is important to me, and I don't sleep as well as I should, and neither does my wife. So Gary Brecka, who I trust, said, you've got to have this. I said, okay. And then I said, how much? He said, $3,000. I said, done. Send it to me. And it's been a game changer. 8 Sleep, the number 8 and sleep. I'm telling you, I don't get any commission from sharing this with you. But if I did, I could sell the crap out of it. Just from the stories. My own story is powerful. How many of you are thinking, will probably go look up 8 Sleep? Well, at least check it out. Put an 8 in the chat if you think you'll look up 8 Sleep. The power of a testimonial took me 15 seconds to give you a personal story, right? So it's so good. It's unbelievable. I'm looking at, like, there's a thing you can put under your mattress that is an add-on to the 8 Sleep thing. That if you start if one of you or your partner starts snoring, it will automatically lift the head up a little bit in the middle of the night while you're sleeping, and it will reduce the snoring or stop the snoring altogether. So your spouse is happier with you. I found out how much I snore per night. It's not a good number. I thought it was nothing. And my wife snores too, which is, I find hilarious, but I sleep through it. So anyway, that's the next piece. I don't have any sleep apnea. I'm good with all that. But anyway, it heats and cools. And the other thing that I will tell you about it, again, this is just an example of how I would sell a high ticket product. This is one of them. I set it for 7 a.m. in the morning. That's my wake up, and I don't need an alarm because it warms my bed up and it just vibrates slightly to wake me up with a nice warmer bed. And I just tap the side of my bed twice and it turns the alarm off. It turns the little vibration thing off. So there's no sound that bothers my wife while she's still sleeping. Swear to God. So did I do a good job? Pretty good, right? Now, if I was selling this, all I'd have to do is say, how are you sleeping? You sleeping okay? Because I got something so cool. 8 Sleep. The number 8 and sleep. I need an affiliate code. I need something because I think I just sold like 500 8 Sleeps on this Zoom call. So marketing is getting people to try something, right? Your goal is education and understanding. You're trying to educate people to the point that they understand what you have. That is all you're trying to do. What did I just do with my story on 8 Sleep? I just educated you on my story, and I got it from a credible source. And you're going to hear a lot about this product coming up because it's blowing up everywhere. Like Lex Friedman has it as one of his sponsors, and it's being sponsored on podcasts in different places. You're going to start hearing about it everywhere. It is so freaking cool. You have like a server that's like next to your bed that you fill with water that goes into the mattress topper thing that goes on top of your existing mattress. It's your existing mattress, or you can get theirs, but I just have our existing mattress because it's an expensive one. So cool. I'll tell you how many times it adjusted last night. I'll just tell you. You're like, how is this training? How is it not? How is this not training? Autopilot recap from last night. My sleep score was 84. It autopilot adjusted 14 times. My sleep. 14 times last night. And it increased my deep sleep by 17%.
Pretty good.
Cool. So, all right. Goals, education, understanding, right? Got it? Now, Charlene says she's buying one today. Wait, I need to get a link first. Just playing, I'm just playing. So, I'm going to give you 3 approaches. If our goal is education and understanding, I'm going to give you 3 approaches when the opening happens. Okay, let's talk about what could create an opening. What could create an opening? Let's say they ask, about what you're doing. What's up with you? What's happening? What's going on? What's new? That could create an opening. Would you agree? Then you could say, I got to tell you about this 8 sleep thing. It's unbelievable. Everybody has to have one. You got to figure it out. Right? Could I do that like I just did? 2, they express a need. They say, I'm having this challenge, I'm having this situation, I'm having this challenge at work, I wish I had more time with my kids. They express some sort of a need, right? Which will happen in a normal conversation. What's the third way? What's the third way? I'm not going to wait for you to ask. You don't pivot. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm talking about them opening it up. Right? You recognize a need that they might have. So we might think of some others, but would you say that that's enough? It's probably enough. Either they ask, what's going on, what's new, what's happening. They express a need, here's what's going on in my life. Or you recognize a need, even if they don't express it. Right? Maybe it'll open up if you ask questions, and those questions lead to any of these things. Okay? So again, this is them reaching out to you, them opening the door, not necessarily saying, hey, tell me about your company, tell me about your product, but they open the door. Okay? They open the door. And again, we're on products. They open the door to the products. And remember I said how important it is if you're fanatical about your product? I'm fanatical about 8 sleep, so I kind of don't care what our conversation says. I got to tell you about it because I'm fanatical about it. I've had it for a month, and it's unbelievable, the difference. So I'm going to share. And am I going to feel weird about sharing? Even if I had an affiliate link, am I going to feel weird about it? Nope. Not going to feel weird about it at all. Am I giving them a gift? Did I just give all of you a gift? All of you who struggle with sleep? All of you who would like to sleep better? Did I just give you a gift by telling you about this product with this technology? I gave you a gift. None of you are going to feel weird about it. At least I hope you don't. You might. Gift you $3,000, you'll be happier. But again, this is a high ticket, and I'm still. You recognize a need. They say, I wish I could get my kids in a better school. Or they express a need. You recognize a need. Like, they're not making enough money. You kind of hear this. Or they express it flat out. Or they're not being appreciated, or something. The door opens. They open the door somehow on the products. The goal is education. What did I do with my story on 8 Sleep? I educated you. Just from my story. And then I used a third-party resource, which was Gary Brecka, who is a person that a lot of people trust when it comes to health and wellness and longevity. So I had him, and I had my personal story. Right? So, there's 3 approaches that are going to work for tomorrow and today. But I want you to think about these 3 approaches because they're similar. It's just what's the trigger? Today's trigger is they open the door. Tomorrow's trigger is they don't open the door. You have to open the door. Okay? Today will be less common unless you're very aware and you're listening for cues. Okay? If you're very aware listening for cues and you're good at it, they will open the door all the time. If you're in a real conversation, the door will open. Okay? So the 3 approaches are 1, super indirect. 2, indirect. And 3, direct. And I'm going to walk you through all 3. And they're, again, door opens. We're going to be talking just about product. Forget about opportunity for a moment. And let me give you a trend. I come from the school of lead with the opportunity and then fall back to the products. Lead from the opportunity and then fall back to the products. What I've learned is what's more sustainable long-term is leading with the product and then upgrading to opportunity. Which is unusual for me. Because both work. Just so you know, big data tells us an equal amount of people join for the opportunity and stay for the product as join for the product and stay for the opportunity. Literally 50-50. So entry point doesn't matter as much as you think. And don't feel worried about leading with product or leading with opportunity. Both are okay. Follow whatever culture works. It's definitely easier to get a customer than it is to be able to get a distributor. So we're focusing on easy. Maybe, we'll see. We'll focus on opportunity. Sorry, I got distracted. So equal amount, don't worry about it. Easier is customer, harder is distributor. Let's get some results. Okay, so super indirect. Let me give you an example of super indirect. Super indirect says, you're not a prospect, but you know a lot of people. And I'm building a business. Do you know anybody that struggles with their sleep? I'm using 8 Sleep as an example. Do you know anybody that struggles with their sleep? And they have a hard time getting to sleep. They have a hard time staying at sleep. They have a hard time regulating their temperature, different from their spouse in the middle of the night. They get cold, they get hot, they get woken up, they can't go back to sleep. Do you know anybody? I'm not talking about you, but I know you know a lot of people. If you know anybody, they can say, yeah, I do. That's super indirect. I'm not aiming at you. Do you know anybody? Because if you do, I have a solution. Can you introduce me to them because I can help? Think about how you would use super indirect with a prospect. Do you know anybody that has, tell me the need that your product solves. Put in the chat. I like introduction better than referral, by the way, just as a word. Optimal health, that's a little general. What specific pain point does your product solve? Sleep, fatigue, weight loss, gut health, energy, aging skin, brain fog, mental clarity. Look over here. Low sperm count. Wow. You have a product for that? Immunity, travel discounts, stem cells acting old, age reversal. So let's use age reversal, as I'm into that. How would you use what would be a super indirect script for age reversal? What would it be? Do you know anybody that is really into anti-aging? Do you know anybody that's biohacking? Do you know anybody that's doing everything that they possibly can so they can live longer and live better? Do you know anybody who's fascinated by the topic? Do you know anybody who's trying different things in order to be able to live longer and extend their health span, not just their lifespan? Do you know anybody? And what are you going to get to that question? From most. Some are going to say, yes, me. Some of you young people watching are going to say, yeah, my parents, my aunts, my uncles. Yeah. Anybody who's trying to buy the clock, buck the clock. Hey, listen, I am all in. You know how much biohacking I do? It is ridiculous. I'm trying to buy as many years as I can buy. I'm looking into hyperbaric chambers at the moment. I have red light therapy beds, $130,000 bed. I have a infrared sauna. I have a cold plunge. I have a gym. I'm getting hydrogen therapy machine. I have an oxygen mask that I put on when I do cardio. I have a regimen that is and I take every supplement there is. So if you have something like that, I'm a good candidate because I'm in for everything. So long as I believe you and I'm going to run it by my doc, if my doc says it's cool, then I'm good to go. I try it all, man. I try it all. What kind of water do I drink? What kind of water do you think I drink? I'm not going to endorse any specific companies, but it's network marketing water. I mean, come on. So, super indirect is, do you know anybody? Have I tried the patches? Yup. Activating the stem cells? Yup. All of this stuff, man. And don't worry about me. Don't think about me. I'm just using me as a proxy. I want you to think about your prospects. And once you're in conversation, just ask the question, by the way, and look, I'm not talking about you. I'm just wondering, do you know anybody that is interested in health span versus just lifespan? Do you know anybody that's interested in anti-aging? Do you know anybody that's interested in a higher level of energy. Do you know anybody that's interested? Like, I'm about to go on this round the world trip. I'm bringing oxygen tanks with an oxygen thing because I'm in the air for like 45 hours over the course of 8 or 9 days. So I'm going to have oxygen therapy while I'm in the air. I have a PEMF mat on my airplane. I mean, I've got all the stuff. I'm telling you, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Okay? So, if you ask the question, yeah, I have my own airplane. Gulfstream 550. You can look it up. It even has its own Instagram account. It's called Badass Jet. Look up Badass Jet on Instagram and you'll see our airplane. It's so sweet. Oh my God. You should have one. All of you should have one. Because it makes life better. It's so great. Anyway, so do you understand super indirect? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand super indirect. How old am I? 60 years old. Hopefully I look less than that. I'm intent on doing the Benjamin Button thing. I am going to reverse age. I'll meet you at 45. Wherever you are, I'll meet you at 45 years old. I'm going backwards. So super indirect is who do you know, who do you know, who do you know, who do you know? Got it? Part 2, indirect. An indirect. What is an indirect approach? If they open the door by asking, they ask somehow, they express a need, you recognize a need, or you ask some questions, you get some answers, and there becomes an opportunity for you to educate about your product. Okay? What is indirect? Let me give you some examples. And we're going to go about 10 minutes after, so deal with it. I was going to bring Justin in and just show you. He's got some really cool stuff on direct, indirect, and super indirect, but we're going to do that tomorrow. Okay? He'll show you in NowSite, and all of you should sign up for NowSite, nmpro.ai, because it'll teach you scripts on direct, indirect, and super indirect, and it'll show you exactly what to do. Okay? Now, indirect is, let's say I'm talking with Douglas. Hi, Douglas. How you doing, buddy? And Douglas, where do you live? Type in the chat. Where do you live? South Africa. No? Different Douglas. Douglas Robertson I was looking at. Nova Scotia. Had a lot of fun in Nova Scotia. So Douglas, let's say I'm having a conversation with Douglas and say, Douglas, listen, I live in Las Vegas. You're a smart guy. You've been around business a long time. And I'm wondering if my product will work in Nova Scotia. And I think you'd know better than I would. Could you do me a favor and look at it and just tell me if you think people in Nova Scotia would find my product interesting? He gave me a thumbs up. It's just a question. It's an indirect question. Or Douglas, you got a lot of background in the area of business that I work in. Would you evaluate my product and tell me if you think it's for real? I'd really appreciate it. Or I've gotten involved with this thing and, what do I know? You have a lot more experience than I do. Would you share your experience with me? So one of my favorite things to ask is, where do you live? And what do you think my answer is to no matter what answer they give me? What do you think my answer is? Dante Smith, where do you live?
Wow.
Where do you live?
I expand that invest.
He's pointing to his fingers. Doesn't matter. So here's how I answer that to every single time I ask the question. Every single conversation you should ask the question, where do you live? My answer is always the same. Chester asks me, I asked Chester, where do you live? And he gives me his answer. And I said, you're not going to believe this, Chester, but I'm looking to expand in Ohio. Ohio? Really?
Exactly.
You're not going to believe this, Chester, but I'm looking to expand my business in Ohio.
I told my team this today.
Can we jump on the phone for a second? I just have a few questions I need to ask you. And if I get any resistance, I'm going to say, don't worry, I'm not talking about you. I'm not looking to recruit you. I'm not looking, all I need is some information. You know more about Ohio than I know about Ohio. I live in Las Vegas. What if somebody says Las Vegas? I'm going to say, unbelievable. I've been looking to expand my business in Las Vegas with people that I can work with personally and directly, face to face.
Exactly.
Can we get together for lunch?
This is correct.
Can we get together for coffee? Can we get together and chat? It's an unbelievable question. Where do you live? And I'm looking to expand my business there.
Yeah.
I need answers. Can you give me some answers? Would you be willing to do that for me? So, one, super indirect. Hey, listen. You know a lot of people. Do you know anybody who has a need in this area? And describe your pain point. What is the pain point? Make a list, a cheat sheet of the list of your pain points. Okay, you got this? What is the cheat sheet on the list of your pain points? And then ask the question, super indirect. Listen, you're not a prospect. I'm not asking you to be a prospect. I'm just asking the question, do you know anyone who has a need in any of the following areas? Energy, sleep, weight loss, skin care, hair care. You pick it. Anybody who's highly interested in health, right? Have your cheat sheet, got it? On all your pain points. Focus on pain points. Because that's the question you're going to ask. And get as specific as you can. Do you know any women over 40 who struggle with this? Do you know any people under 35 that would like to travel more? Do you know, get as specific as you can get. Do you know anybody who has crepey skin and is tired of it? Do you know anybody who's got dark spots on their skin and they want to get rid of them? Do you know anybody that struggled for their whole life on losing weight and has lost faith that they can even do it? Do you know anybody? And if you do, write this down. Put it in the chat. Can you introduce me? Because I can help. 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 That's super indirect. Indirect is asking for their opinion, their advice, their wisdom, their evaluation, their research. See, I have a product that helps people with these pain points. Would you do me a favor and take a look at this product and tell me if you think it would work in your market in Nova Scotia? Would it work in Ohio? Would it work in Germany? Would it work in Japan? Would it work in Lebanon? Would it work in South Africa? And write this down. If I make it easy on you, write that down. Put it in the chat. If I make it easy on you, would you look at this product and give me your thoughts? If I make it easy on you, it could be somebody you just met. One of my best recruits I was on a flight. I had a family member get into a car accident. Luckily, she was okay. But I was flying to Arizona. I sat next to this gentleman who was from Nebraska. I said, "Where do you live?" He said, "Nebraska." I said, "You're not going to believe this. I'm looking to expand a business in Nebraska." He said, "Well, I'm kind of into farming and all that other kind of stuff." I said, "Perfect. Every farmer I know is skeptical. I need a skeptic. Would you do me a favor? And would you evaluate my product and be as skeptical as possible and tell me if you think it's for real? If I make it easy on you? If I make it simple? If I send you a link that's just simple, if it's short, if it's quick, if I make it easy on you, would that be okay?" Do you see how this can work? Get their opinions, get their thoughts, get their feedback, get their wisdom. This feeds their ego. It makes them feel important. Whether they're positive or negative doesn't matter. So do you understand super indirect? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand super indirect. Do you understand indirect? You're going to ask for help, support. Put a 2 in the chat if you understand indirect. Got that? All right, fantastic. So let's talk about direct. Direct is you've realized they opened the door. They asked, "What do you do? What business are you in?" And what's the easiest way to get somebody to ask that question? You ask them first. What do you do? "Oh, I do this and I do that." Fantastic, wonderful. What are they probably going to do in return? What do you do? I'm glad you asked. I help people get better sleep. That's what I do for a living. Then depending on my relationship, I can go super indirect. Do you know anybody that struggles with sleep? Or I say, if I sent you a video that explained what I have, would you do me a favor and check it out and tell me if you think it would work in your marketplace? If you think there's a market for this? If you think it's for real? Or direct, if they say, "I struggle with sleep," then you say, "I have a solution for you. Let me tell you my story. Let me show you a video. Let me introduce you to another person. right? Let me have you try something. Let me have you talk to somebody. Let me have you look at a website, whatever. But direct is just going right to them and saying, I have a solution for you. You feel like you've struggled with your weight your whole life. I know how you feel. Do you want that to be over with? Are you tired of it? Are you ready to let go of that limiting belief? Because I have a solution, and all I ask is that you try it. Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? How many times have you tried something else to lose weight? All of the fellow strugglers out there that struggle with your weight, how many times have you tried a diet or tried something? 500 times in your life? I've tried so many times. I've literally given up so many times. I still struggle with the nutrition part. I got the workout part going, but the nutrition part, man, after 7 o'clock, it is the devil's time. After 7 o'clock at night, the devil takes over and starts making me want snacks. It's the worst. I hate it so much. But I still have the snacks. It's bad. It's so bad. I'm a champion all day, but after 7, I'm a disaster. I'm a train wreck. I just can't stop. Turn the TV on and open up the refrigerator, I'm in trouble. Protein ice cream, man, I tried it. Meh. It's either ice cream or it's not. Don't give me this keto ice cream stuff. Tastes like cold cardboard. That's what keto ice cream tastes like. I just need to eat better. So, super indirect. And listen, I know all the things I got to do. Believe me, I know. I know. And look, they're coming. They're coming. My body fat, it's coming. I'm okay. But it's not where I want it to be. Okay? So awareness is the key. And if somebody gave me something that says, hey, you want to figure out a way to get rid of that belly fat? Because that's where I hold most of it. I've got a solution. Send it to me. Now, that's not an open invitation for all of you to go put freaking bananas. I'm not your client.
Freaking bananas.
Go, the whole world can be your client. You can go get the whole world because the whole world has belly fat. Super indirect, indirect, direct. Got it? Make sense? Does this sound easy or hard? Pretty easy, right? Especially if you believe in your product. If you believe in your product, guess what? You can go direct to everybody and say, listen, I can't help it. I got to tell you about this thing I found. It's unbelievable. And I can get you a link and I can get you a discount. You got to try it. This thing's a game changer. How many of you feel like your product is a game changer? Put a 2 in the chat. If you feel like your product is a game changer. Well, then guess what? You can go direct to almost everybody. And you can go there pretty quick. Listen, I can't help it. I got to tell you. For the last 2 years, I have struggled. My wife has gotten a maximum of 4 hours sleep a night for the last 2-3 years. On average, 4 hours. Now she's getting 7 after 4 weeks. What do you think that's doing to her quality of life and the quality of my life? Because she has 7 instead of 4. And I struggle with getting to sleep and staying asleep because once I wake up, it's really, really a problem. getting back to sleep. I'll turn on podcasts, my brain will start going, I'll start making lists, and I'm done. This thing changed the game for me. Let me show you the results, the facts. I can show you in the app exactly how it works. I can do that direct, or I could do it super direct. You know anybody who struggles with sleep? Or I could do it indirect. Would you check this out and tell me if you think this is a fad, if you think it's phony, if you think it's mad science, or if you think it's for real? Because right now it's working for me, and I don't know if it's the placebo effect of this thing turning on and cooling and warming and all this auto adjustment stuff, or if it's for real. You're smarter than I am. Would you look at it for me? All three of these can work. Now, tomorrow we're going to expand on this. And I'm sorry I went 20 minutes over, but tomorrow we're going to expand on this, okay? We're going to expand on this, and we're going to talk about if they don't open the door, how do you open the door? Which is going to happen much more often, which is why I need you all to be here tomorrow and tell your friends to be here tomorrow. You can open the door to any person if you really truly believe in your products. Okay? Are we going to go right into VIP? We're going to go right into VIP in 12 minutes. We're going to take a 12-minute break. And then we're going to go right into VIP, okay? And then we're going to bring in these 4 experts. So here's how I would end today. Get your trial for NowSight. Take these 12 minutes. If you've been thinking about it, how many are going to do it, but you haven't done it yet? Put a 1 in the chat. How many are going to sign up for NowSight, but you haven't done it yet? You're meaning to, but you just haven't done it yet. You're probably going to do it, but you haven't done it yet. Okay. Just take these 12 minutes and do it now. Guess what good leaders do? They do things now when other people do things later.
Yeah.
So just sign up. Sign up and just start poking around in there. Whether it's monthly or annual, get a 7-day trial and try it. You stay till December, you're going to get a free 2-day ticket for GoPro. You get an annual, you're going to get a VIP ticket, 3-day ticket for GoPro. Okay? So do that. And also, if you want to be part of this VIP in the next 11 minutes, what's the page for VIP? Here it is. Click on the upgrade to VIP button. If you want to listen to Tom Chenault and Jeff Altgilbers, both #1 in their company, Sandro Cazzato, $500,000 a month with his company. He's built a customer gathering empire. And Leah Lockett, who's unbelievable at gathering customers, and myself for a Q&A for the next hour. That's going to happen in 11 minutes. Okay? So you go to enempro.ai for NowSight. You go to that upgrade to VIP box. And if you're already in VIP, just stay there. Go to the bathroom, go get a drink, whatever, get a snack. If you're not in VIP and you're upgrading right now, you're going to need to click on that bottom button that says VIP Q&A starts after the break.
I'll face whatever challenge is in front
of
me.
We got music coming in. So the VIP is recorded. All this stuff is recorded. And you're going to get access to yesterday as well if you missed it for whatever reason. If you're in VIP, just stay here. Okay? If you're not in VIP, and you're upgrading, you need to click on the button to get in. So your assignment today is get signed up for NowSight. Check out today's replay is available for the next 24 hours until 11 a.m. tomorrow for free for everybody on your team. And let's shoot for 3 customers in the next 24 hours. So a total of 6. I want you to go to a person. If they ask, they express a need, they recognize the need, or if they have questions, I want you to go practice super indirect on at least 5 people. Write this down. I want you to practice super indirect Who do you know that has a need for this particular problem? Okay? Who do you know? Indirect. Can you help me? Can you give me wisdom? Can you give me guidance? Can you give me support? Can you give me your insights? For 5 people that you're in conversation with. And third, direct. I just have to tell you about this. 5 people. So 5, 5, and 5. That's your assignment. Put into the chat 5, 5, and 5. 5, 5, and 5. Okay? And if you're putting that 5, 5, and 5 in, that means you're accepting the challenge. 5 super indirects, 5 indirects, 5 directs. Got this? This is not hard. This is easy. This is fun. You're going to help people. I had fun sharing my 8 sleep experience with you. And when you get yours, I'll be interested in hearing your results because the results were amazing for me. All right. So I will see you now in 8 minutes. Sorry, I keep talking. 8 minutes. Go quick, take a break. And we'll be back in 8 minutes with VIPs and 3 spectacular leaders. And tomorrow we're going to get into you opening the door when they don't. So I'll see most of you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. The rest of you, I'll see you in 8 minutes. See you then.
I'll face whatever challenge is in front of me.